Hi guys, this is Jeremy from Cut the Nets. It's not just me today, of course. Brian will be joining us later, and of course we'll have our podcast guest as per usual. But I wanted to address something that we did not disclose in the podcast, mainly because we didn't know at the time because we were so in the thick of it talking about what happened in the crazy NBA week that we just had last week. We forgot to talk about LeBron James' foot injury because we didn't know it was going to be a serious extended injury until it was announced during our live feed of the podcast when we recorded. So yeah, LeBron James has a foot injury that he sustained months ago. He's just been playing through it, and it's gotten to a serious point where he can't play on anymore, and it's a long extended amount of time for his injury. There's no timetable for his return. That's a pretty shocking blow to the Lakers, honestly, because, well, they've had a really good go of things, winning 3 straight games with their newly acquired players in Vanderbilt, Russell, Rui Hachimura, that's the name, Rui Hachimura and Mo Bamba, and Malik Beasley. They've had a great stretch of 3 games. Anthony Davis is back. He will need to play the MVP level that he played earlier in this season before he went down with the injury. Hopefully he stays healthy throughout LeBron's absence. Yeah, LeBron James out with a foot injury. I think the Lakers will be okay if Davis plays at the MVP level that he does and he stays healthy. They have Vanderbilt, they have Malik Beasley, and like I said, other players as before, so I think they'll be okay. They just won't climb to the playoff seedings as quickly as they should if LeBron were on the floor. So yeah, without further ado, enjoy the podcast.
Rant. Oh! A jawbreaker! Goes by below! Oh! Drops the sledgehammer! Good bucket. Kobe Bryant on a rack attack! A piece of it. Way going right. Giannis Antetokounmpo over Chris Middleton. It's a physical game. Oh, my! Vicious slam in the face of Kawhi Leonard. Explosion, the finish. Down to 3, down to 2, it's a 3. Good! Good! He got it! James Harden, a flamethrower! This guy's unbelievable. He is so fun to watch.
All right, what's up, guys? Let's cut the nest. Oh, Trae is taking a piss right now.
Yeah, he said he was going to use the bathroom.
Yeah. Man, I guess we'll wait.
Also, you cut off in the beginning.
I cut off? Dang it.
Yeah.
Well, this is an opener for sure. He said, Trae's like, I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. Don't record yet. All right. Click record it. I'm going to hear his background and stuff that he shouldn't say.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a real person sitting in the chair right now. That is Trae Plummer. You may not see him because, well, he has camouflage walls.
He's Houdini.
He's Houdini. Yeah.
It's like Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, it literally appeared. You see that? Did you see that?
Spawned.
He just spawned.
That's what I do. That's what I do,
man.
boys.
All right.
He's Grand Theft Plummerado.
He's discount Miles Teller.
Yeah, that's not even funny, but like it's better than what I usually get. I've gotten like any actor that has a big nose, there's like remotely Jewish. There's like, oh, dude, that's you. Like the guy, like what's it, Jason Biggs from American Pie. They call me him.
What?
They said Andy Samberg. They said Adam Sandler. And it's like and I know that they just are doing it based off the nose thing. And it's like it's played out. You know what I mean? But
I have to disagrry with the Jason Biggs, dude. There's no fucking way.
I might be saying the wrong person.
You look more like I forgot his name. He's like one of the friends. Not Stifler or the other guy with that's Jennifer Coolidge's son. It's like the dude with the beard. Oh, he
Yeah,
I've
never
Finch?
seen the American Pie movie, so I'm no help on this one.
Oh, not Finch, the other one.
Oz. Oh, Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin. He looks like Kevin a little bit, just a smudge.
Yeah, a little bit.
A smudge. Yeah.
You kind of have the hair like him, though.
Yeah. Watch the American Pie movies, Trey. Just watch them.
They're-
By the
they're
way, Trey,
hilarious.
we're recording. We're live.
Yeah, I saw that in the corner. Thanks. I'm glad I didn't just like show up saying something.
No, dude, you spawned. You spawned like in
Yeah.
Call of Duty, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah,
Let me get
I've
that-
actually been.
That's all
known
on
to do
video.
that.
It's
Yeah,
all on
when
video,
things,
dude.
when there's a camera rolling, I tend to appear. It's my thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's because you're Miles Teller discount.
Yeah.
Born-
Thanks, guys.
Born to spawn on the screen.
Yes.
All right. Well, guys, this is Cut the Nets, episode 11. As I said before, I'm Jeremy. This is Brian, my co-host. We have Trae, discount Miles Teller, on the podcast today, featured. Trae, tell us about yourself.
Boys, I'm feeling good. I went to bed a champion, right? So
For this
where do we
podcast?
start?
Wait for
Well,
this
because
podcast.
because I was waiting for the podcast. I slept in this shirt. I slept in my shoes and everything like first day of school. I slept with my Yeti next to me, even. I slept with the camera on. I was that excited about my real debut on Cut the Nets.
Brian, this guy's really weird. We should probably kick him off.
Yeah.
This guy's
I'll
really
find a
weird.
way to get back on.
But
But
I don't know. about
yeah,
that.
I mean,
I had style points though.
Yeah. Dedication.
thanks, guys. So yeah,
What is your team, man? Who do you serve?
the Hawks.
The Atlanta Hawks.
The Atlanta Hawks. Last night, coached by Joe Prunty, arguably the greatest Atlanta Hawks head coach in history. He's undefeated.
Undefeated, yeah.
Never lost a game. He's retiring now from the head coaching position. But I'm not saying there should be. But I would like to donate money wherever I can to get a statue for him. Right, undefeated. He is maybe the GOAT. Now we have Quinn Snyder coming in. I think I love it. 5 years is a little too much. I don't know if I would have gone full 5 years, but you know, I trust our front office. I like them, and I think that Quinn Snyder can be a big jump for us. I think, you know, the whole Utah thing, the way that ended was a little bit weird. It wasn't like it wasn't like they were losing games and just exploded the whole thing. Like, he resigned, right? If I'm correct, he resigned. He wasn't let go, right?
Yeah.
He resigned, and then that's when they started trading everybody. So, you know, I'm excited. I'm ready for it. I think he dresses cool. He always has the Ferragamo belts. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't really pay attention to how a man dresses, except if it's Kyle
you
Kuzma.
got to.
If it's Kyle Kuzma, I gotta pay
I was about to
attention.
say, y'all did a whole segment on the show about how a guy dresses.
Yeah, if it's Kyle Kuzma, or you know, if it's like LeBron or Russell Westbrook.
Bro, if you're a coach and you're in those bum plain quarter zips and you still have some drip going, stop it. Stop it.
You gonna say the GIF or the meme? Stop it. Get some help.
Oh, I was not, but
you said like the same pitch in registration. I was like, I'm waiting for it. Let's go. Oh man.
sorry. Strike one.
Strike one. You got
strike
two.
one. Yeah,
this
I got
isn't
two
baseball.
left.
This isn't baseball though. This is a
Technical foul.
technical foul.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
So you have one more and you're out of the. We're kicking your ass out.
All right. Now I'm on edge.
Anyways, so I like the pick. I like the acquisition of Quinn Snyder on the Hawks. I kind of see it as like Quinn Snyder is going to do what he did with Donovan Mitchell with Trae Young. I feel like that might be a thing. And obviously Clint Capella is no Rudy Gobert by any means, but they do have. I think Clint Capella is a really good rim protector, good defender. Gobert, of course, has won the Defensive Player of the Year. Clint Capella, I think he can be a really good defender with Quinn Snyder's system, and I think he might elevate his defense when Quinn Snyder's the coach. That's kind of how I see it.
I totally agree with that. I think, but I also think that Clint Capella gets a bad rep. I think Clint Capella goes out there and he's not flashy, but he's good at what he's supposed to do, and that's it. And like in the NBA, those are my favorite players. Like the DeAndre Hunter, he's not going to go off for 50, but he'll go off for 30, and you won't even know it. Like when you're just out there and you do your role, like it's just so much better than a Russell Westbrook who's just trying to force something, or like Clint Capella is good, and you had to experience him. You was on the Rockets for a while, and Clint Capella is not a player that you are constantly like angry with. right? You go out there, you know what he's going to give you, and you're happy with it. And
Sure.
like from the Hawks, John Collins, he's not good at what he tries to do. Like he's not good. And there's many things I can say about John Collins, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Quinn. And I think even with the way that Quinn Snyder coaches, I do agree with you. I think he elevates his players because one, he is younger and he forms like connections. And you could tell when he was with the Jazz, the players liked him. He liked the players, but it also wasn't like a thing where all the players are just buddy with the coach and he still maintains a level of like respect and a level of like, I'm the coach, you're the player, so I'm in charge still. And that's what I think the Hawks need more than anything, because I think with just a little bit more, I think we have the players. I think with just a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Just like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, he's younger. I would say he's younger. And say what you want about the Jazz's playoff experience, they made it to the playoffs almost every single year that Quinn Snyder was coach. Yep. They were the first seed, also one season as well. So yeah, maybe their playoff experience have kind of ended with Quinn Snyder's resume and his credentials. I really feel like the Hawks picked a really good one. I'm just not sure about the whole 5-year deal.
That's my biggest issue.
I'm not sure about that. Brian, what do you say about that?
I like the Quinn Snyder pickup for the Hawks. Well-established veteran coach. I think he's going to do good things with the Hawks. Jerry, you cut off for a second, but I think to the point you were going to, from what I understood, was like you were talking about that like Lloyd Pierce, Nate McMillan transition. And I mean, Nate McMillan got them to the playoffs that one year, but like I think like what led to his downfall and eventually getting fired to Atlanta was he for some reason couldn't make the DeJounte Murray Trae Young duo work. And I think that's what Quinn Snyder was brought in to do. And so that will be interesting to see. The 5 years does scare me. And I do like Clint Capella. He is a reliable bucket. And I think someone so respect and like long and as tenured as a guy like Snyder can kind of humble Trae, because I'm a rare Knicks fan that actually likes Trae Young. I mean, I'll boo him when he plays us, but like I like watching him and like I respect like his game. And it's almost like Curry-like or like Buddy Hield-like, and they both went to Oklahoma, so it makes sense, Hield and Trae. But love watching them, and I think Trae's biggest problem is his tendency to become arrogant, and you're kind of seeing it this year with like his body language. It kind of reminds me of like a last year Julius Randle, and I guess that's kind of leading to some of the reasons why Trae is struggling so much from three this year, which is something else that I think Quinn Snyder can fix. I forgot who said it, but someone said that he could even make Trae a better defender. I don't know about that though, just because he's naturally undersized. Like it's kind of hard for him to be a good defender unless it's like steals and like jumping passes and like that kind of stuff. But in terms of like actual like on ball, I don't really know. I mean, but they have DeJounte Murray for that, so they're fine.
Yeah. Do y'all think so? Now that we've like talked about it and I kind of thought about it, like every team that is like in the talks to get rid of their coach and get a new coach for next year, it's Ime Udoka and it's Quinn Snyder. I'm sorry. I wonder if that is kind of what led to like the 5-year deal. They knew that somebody else was either going to come in with more money or more years. And so that's kind of why like the Hawks chose to go with the 5. That's the only thing I can think of, because just 5 years is just a lot. And I mean, that's that what makes the most
just
sense.
Like, or just like because the Hawks kind of have this core or like big 3, big 2, whatever. And they made it to the playoffs 2 years ago. They got to the conference finals. They didn't make the playoffs last year. Or no, was it the other way?
The play-in, I think. They made the play-in.
Yeah. So they clearly
doesn't count though.
So they clearly can win. So it's more just like I think the reason why, and it's a good point because it was down to Udoka and Snyder, and obviously Snyder's as good of a coach with a lot less baggage. So I think that it was kind of like they might have overpaid too, and the 5 years is a little stretch, but you kind of have to give it to them where it's like it's not like they're a team that's rebuilding. It's like, oh, we can dabble with a new coach and like try them out. Like, no, the Hawks should be playoff contenders every year. They kind of have to get their guy, and they viewed Snyder as their guy. So,
yeah, I was kind of surprised as to why the Hawks signed him that long. Because was there any sort of competition of getting Snyder from other teams?
not that season. I don't think there's currently any other head coaching vacancy.
Yeah, not really, but yeah, I mean, it's like I said, like the rumor is anyone who gets rid of their coach this season at the end of the season is Ime Udoka or Quinn Snyder. But as of right now, I don't think there are any I don't think there are any vacancies.
It's kind of hilarious because if I were a general manager of any NBA team, I would definitely hop on either of those two coaches if my team was doing terribly. I mean, those coaches. I mean, Ime Udoka took the Celtics to the finals.
Ime Udoka does fuck though, and that's a liability.
Quinn Snyder took the Jazz to many playoff appearances. So, I really think the Hawks was pretty much stole him, but I think they kind of coddled him a little too much, thinking that this is our main coach for the future, and he hasn't even coached a single game with them yet. So who knows if he gels well with this team?
Yeah, and I think him coming in right away, he starts first. So practice today, coaches against Washington tomorrow. I think that's going to be a good game to see how much he's planning on changing. Because, when a coach comes in, it's usually in the off season. So they have time to get with the program. Like they've got camp, they've got all that stuff. With this, we're probably going to see some trips, and we'll see quickly how fast people are buying in to the system. And I think if they do buy in, I personally think the system will work with this team. So I'm very positive about it. It's rare that I'm positive about the Hawks. And so it's a nice change of pace for me.
Wow. Nice way to wrap it up into a nice little bow, Trae. That was nice.
Thank you. Yeah. You've heard Jeremy, you've heard my Hawks rant. So this is very good.
Oh yeah. It's not good. My Rockets. My Houston Rockets.
So I'm going to let you talk and finish this, but at the end of it, we're going to come back because I've got a crazy spin zone that's going to make you sleep like a baby tonight.
Okay. So aside from the Rockets losing their ninth straight game, by the way, I think that the Rockets and Spurs are on a collision course to those two picks, Scoot or Victor, because the Spurs have lost 16 straight. They are half a game ahead of the Rockets in the 15th seed in the Western Conference. The Rockets have lost 9, but they've already lost their fair share of games. The Spurs just decided to tank, out of nowhere, because I knew that they weren't going to be good anymore. Oddly enough, I think someone should pick up Greg Popovich in case he doesn't retire.
No chance he leaves San Antonio.
I mean, I know he's beloved. He's a fucking god over there.
I live in San Antonio, and it's like
he's a saint.
We have a mayor just to have someone in the office, but really Pop's we listen to Pop.
You probably have a street named after him somewhere, or going.
I think he does downtown.
Popovich Street or something. When I first heard his name in the NBA, when I just started watching it, I thought he was Russian.
I'm sure he goes. I'm sure if you follow it and goes back.
Yeah. I don't know. And then I heard him talk. I'm like, he's not Sean Russian at all. But anyways, that was a tangent joke. The Rockets lost against the Portland Trail Blazers by 17 points, which is not all bad compared to their past losses. However, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Damian Lillard's 71 points in that game. 71 points.
41 in the first half.
41 in the first half. I thought he was going to pass Kobe. I really hope he did, but he didn't. Oh well. He had 22 of 38 in field goal shooting. He shot 13 threes out of 22.
And did y'all see the 1-3 where he was in transition? He just pulls up from essentially
that's another day at the office,
Yeah, I mean, he's probably the second best shooter in the league behind Curry, and second best point guard behind Curry.
I looked at the last 12 games on like the stat line, and he has been on a tear, absolute tear, over the last carrying the Blazers as a team just by himself.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like everyone is on a tear against the Rockets lately, or just this season. It's like playing 2K on like 99, like offensive everything. Because I saw the stat after the Lillard game of people scoring against the Rockets this year. You got Lillard 71, Luka with 50, Lauri Markkanen with 49, John Morant with 49, LeBron with 48, Giannis with 44, Anthony Edwards with 44, Trae Young with 44, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 42, Klay Thompson with 42, Klay Thompson again with 41, Devin Booker with 41, and Tyler Hero with 41. So it seems just like everyone's scoring on the Rockets at will. And then on the other side, Ant Edwards had a field day over Sengun, both driving him twice in one game. So it seems like everyone's getting their highlights on the Rockets.
It's kind of sad because, you know how I was hyping Sengun for like the last 2 months?
Yeah.
He's been benched for 2 straight games after half of the third quarter. He's been benched. And he doesn't play for the rest of the third quarter and the entire fourth quarter.
How do you feel about it?
I'm a little concerned. I don't know. I got some hunches that maybe Rafael Stone might be trading Sengun sometime in the offseason. I don't know. There's been some rumors going around during the Rockets Hub on Twitter that Sengun is a really good asset, and they're hyping him up to be more like way better than he might actually be, because his offense is without a doubt flawless. He's really good. His defense is a different story. It's not as consistent. He's not sure where to place himself during shifts, or when he has a mismatch. He can't handle point guards at all. He just can't. Anthony Edwards, as you mentioned, mopped the floor with him. And I don't know. I was on
he's 20 years old. He can still figure it out.
He's 20 years old. Yeah, of course. He's not like he's in his mid to late 20s. He's not even in his prime yet. This is his second year in the season, and he's proven that he can really carry a team, let alone carry a team by himself in the next coming years if he works harder, if he improves. He's got that potential.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at this weird age where professional athletes are younger than me now. It's scary.
Isn't it weird? Yeah. Isn't it weird? Yeah, yeah. He's like 7 feet tall and a little baby. He was like 13 when I was 19. That's weird. Yeah. Hey, it's a reality. It happens. Age.
Yeah.
But clock don't stop.
Clock does not stop. However, I am 12. I'm always 12.
I watched that movie. I watched that movie yesterday. All time classic.
Dude, great movie. I love it.
Carlos, is that beer? No, it's Gatorade. Give me the ball.
Nah, dude, that's a classic.
Time.
That's a classic for sure.
So my spin zone though, Jeremy, and you're gonna like this. Okay. So did y'all play team sports growing up?
Yeah.
No, right? I didn't play.
Okay, that's all right. So when you're on a team, they always when the team they say a great team player. What makes a great team player is he makes his other teammates better. Uh-huh. So Jeremy, you have an entire team of great teammates because they make everybody that plays against them better, right? So if they just get one star on their team, that star will be.
Can I mute you? I'm gonna mute your ass.
No, that's a spin zone.
I love that point actually.
You're now you can officially say
my team makes other teams better, not as a player making his teammates better.
But you don't, because you have no star. You don't know when y'all get that star, y'all will make him better, and then he'll make other teams worse, and then you win a championship in a season.
What is this? 2K?
Yeah. What is this, like 2K my career or 2K my GM?
My team? My GM?
Crazier things have happened. And last night, Lillard scored 71. Very bad, yes. But you had no Jalen Green or KPJ.
That's true. Jalen Green's out with an injury. KPJ still out with his foot.
So if you just
we had Deshaun Nix.
Boom.
He was back from the dead.
You just have to keep making excuses to sleep at night.
He actually didn't do too bad. I think they were like down by 20 in the third quarter. Let me search his stats up for that game again. I saw he was like 6 for 16, which is like more points than I've ever seen score in my life. Like, hand to God. me see his stats. Yeah, well, he didn't really score much after that. He went 7 for 19, 2 of 7 from 3, 16 points. Hey, he scored double-digit points for the first time in I don't know, 3 months, which feels like 3 years. Yeah, that's he's bad. Win. He's really, really bad. Yet, if we can't have a backup point guard, which we should have, Ty Washington as one. I don't know why he's not on the roster. He's still in the G League. He's going back and forth as a two-way player kind of thing, or two-way contract. That's what I meant, not two-way player. But yeah, and then we have Deshaun Nix, who sometimes gets rotation minutes, sometimes he doesn't, and then all of a sudden he plays 30 minutes like a starter. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Rafael Stone talks about how they have this journey, that they're on this process, like Philadelphia back in 2016. But I mean, one can only hope that that's true.
Oh, Jeremy, do you trust the process? I mean, that's the question of this podcast.
Well, we're not in Philly. There's no such thing as trusting the process. This isn't Philly.
There's many processes though. I mean,
no, but that's Philly's slogan. That's their phrase.
Okay, so what's the Rockets? I don't think they have one, so you can make your own right here and go famous.
They used to. It was run as one with the Chris Paul and James Harden team that went 65 wins. I missed that team. I really missed that team, man. Yeah. There's still hope that Harden might join the Rockets next season. There's still hope. There's a 70% chance. You guys know Kelly Iko. He writes for The Athletic. He's the Rockets athletic writer. All right. Mm-hmm. He was on NBC on our local TV news talking to one of the anchors saying that James Harden reports is 70% likely to return to Houston if he chooses to leave Philadelphia.
Based on what?
Sources. Credible sources. Kelly Iko, he's a credible man, all right? Shout out Kelly Iko out there. If you're watching this,
he's watching.
Let's grab a beer. I saw you media day. We met. He was cool. He was actually pretty cool.
He's watching it.
He better be watching it. But yeah, that's I got nothing else to say about my Rockets. I mean, it's the NBA Finals of tanking for the Spurs and Rockets, and it's all in the state of Texas.
I don't know. Shout out Eric's Hornets. They're in there too.
Oh, I mean, they're doing better than we are.
Well, that's not saying much.
I mean, that they have injuries, and LaMelo's not playing much, so
that's true.
Yeah. Let's get into some games, man.
You gotta talk about the Knicks.
We can talk about your Knicks. Don't forget about that.
Yeah, so I'll talk about one of the hottest teams in basketball, the New York Knickerbockers. Tied for the 5th seed right now, the Brooklyn Nets, their crosstown rival, on a 5-game win streak. Haven't lost a game since they got Josh Hart. They started off beating the Utah Jazz, beat the Brooklyn Nets, beat blew out Trae's Atlanta Hawks. Oof. Beat the Wizards, and then blew out the Zionless Pelicans. So, pretty happy here in New York. They're playing the Boston Celtics without Jalen Brown in 20 minutes. The Knicks actually do have a tough 4 games coming up. The other home against Boston without Jalen Brown. Boston's still probably the best team in the league. Home against Brooklyn on Wednesday, at Miami on Friday, and then at Boston on Sunday. So they have a tough schedule coming up.
So you'll lose 3 out of the next 4.
It's 2 or 2 at the very worst.
I think 500 is realistic for them.
I think they beat Boston tonight just because Jalen Brown's out. I think they beat Brooklyn, and then I'd see them losing to Miami and then losing back to Boston.
Yeah, 500.
But they could win the Heat game. So I'd say 3-1 potentially, but realistically 2-2.
All I know is that the Knicks will definitely take the 5th seed over the Nets.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Gotta send some love to Jalen Brunson though, carrying our team.
Ready?
What?
The Jalen Brunson appreciation.
Oh yeah, Jalen Brunson appreciation. Probably the best point guard in the East right now. Not even gonna lie.
I mean, with the loss of Kyrie, yeah, you're right.
Not even gonna lie. It's probably the best point guard in the Eastern Conference. Should have been an all-star.
That's not a hot take at all. I kind of, I see your point. It's
especially considering the way Trae's shooting from 3. I mean,
look at Trae. He's flabbergasted.
I love when people are dumb for their team, so I'm gonna let you have it.
Listen,
There's just no way.
Is probably. I'm 22 years old. This is probably the second year where I've been happy to be a Knicks fan. Let me enjoy this.
No, enjoy it, live it up. He's not the best player in the Eastern Conference. I mean, let's see.
He might be.
Darius Garland.
Okay, so Trae Young and
Darius Garland is like maybe up there, kind of close to Jalen Brunson, maybe a little bit higher.
Maybe, but I guess the point
James Harden.
You
got James Harden there too. Don't forget.
I guess
James Harden's been balling.
No, he hasn't balling, and he's been looking more of a playmaker. So I'll give him that. He's been doing good. The only complaint I have with the Knicks though, and it's kind of more of a Thibodeau complaint than an actual Knicks complaint, is
this is annual. I mean, not annual, weekly.
Yeah, I want Josh Hart to start, but I'm and I have an article coming about it. Is actually getting posted tomorrow morning. About Josh Hart's impact on the 5-game win streak and stuff, but pretty much Quentin Grimes still starts, but he pretty much gets Josh Hart, but Josh Hart still gets more minutes than Quentin Grimes, but Grimes' plays kind of went downward while Hart is still he's still going up. The only bad game he had was against the Wizards, where he only had 5 points in 27 minutes, but I want Josh Hart to start, but we know Coach Thibodeau will never change the lineup unless there's an injury. And since they're on this win streak, I also kind of have the mindset of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if and when the Knicks lose, and God forbid if it becomes a losing streak, I think you have to put Josh Hart in the starting lineup.
Yeah, it's ironic how Josh Hart's been such a huge factor when getting traded over the Knicks. I never really thought he was that great of a role player per se. I mean,
because it's just everything. He resembles everything the Knicks needed. Just shooting in general. He's shooting 61% from the field, and then he's kind of having an off year from three. But with the Knicks, he's shooting 60% from three. He's a scrappy player, diving for loose balls, getting steals, getting blocks. He's the third highest on the team in rebounding at 6'5". And at 6'5", he has the most rebounds in the league and most offensive rebounds in the league. So he's for his height, so or shorter. So he's doing everything that the Knicks don't have right now, because they just got Mitchell Robinson back, so that's been huge defensively. But when they didn't have Robinson, Hart was probably the best defender on the team. So,
do you think that Josh Hart plays better in Thibodeau's system compared to Billups' system? Because he played. I'm looking at. He played 33.4 minutes on the Blazers, and he was shooting around 50% from the field and 30% from three. Not too great. 9.5.
Yeah, doesn't Portland generally go small ball? Because don't they start Lillard, Simons, and Hart? Didn't they start all three of them?
I'm not sure actually about that. I don't know, because let me look at his stats real quick and see if he started all of his 51 games with him. Let me see here. Might take a while.
I know he's just a very passionate person, so he's been
you're
balling
right.
and loving this opportunity in New York. Plus, he reunites with Jalen Brunson, where they both went to Villanova and won a national championship together. But I don't really know if it's necessarily comparing systems, because I know for a fact Coach Thibodeau doesn't coach the offense. He just focuses on defense and let them do whatever he wants. I think actually their assistant coach, Rick Brunson, Jalen's dad, maybe has something to do with the offense. But so I think it's more just Josh Hart. The ball's coming his way, and he's just making the most of his opportunity.
Ideally. Oh, I guess not ideally. Realistically, you'd think if a player got a reduction in minutes when getting traded to another team, they wouldn't feel as happy, compared to how many minutes they got before in the previous team.
Yeah. But you also have to take into fact that the Knicks are 5th in the East, and Portland is 11th in the West, 2 games under 500. And the Knicks, actually, I just saw this today. If they were in the West, they would be the 3 seed. So
It would.
With
their skill of play.
Yeah, so I mean, like, naturally, I guess, like, the only thing is like, I'm shocked how much better he's shooting from 3 with the Knicks compared to when he did with Portland. But it was weird because when I was writing my article, maybe Josh Hart is just like a half a season player too, because when he got traded to Portland in 2021, that like 13 games he played with Portland in the latter half of the season were the best of his career.
Yeah.
And then it's only been 5
too.
games with the Knicks so far, but now those are like from a shooting standpoint, the best in his career. So like maybe he's just a half season guy.
Maybe he's just a Linsanity type of guy.
Yeah, just move to a new team every half season. Just become like a Jermaine O'Neal and just wear every color where you play for every team where your jersey can make the rainbow.
That sounds I'm not going to say it. It's a basketball podcast. All right.
I looked up the stats, and I would just like to say that points per game, Trae Young 27, Jalen Brunson 23. Field goal percentage is 40. We'll skip that one. 42. Trae Young is 42. Jalen Brunson's 48. That's
are you cherry picking stats right now?
Yes. And free throw percentage, Trae Young's 88 to Jalen Brunson's 83. Offensive rebounds, excuse me. Trae's 0.7 to Jalen Brunson.
Josh Hart to Trae Young. Are you fucking kidding me?
What?
Are you
seriously? He's comparing Brunson to Trae Young.
Oh my God.
Yes.
But he's cherry picking the stats. He's saying,
I gave him one.
Get offensive rebounds.
I gave Jalen Brunson one. How's this cherry picking?
Listen,
you're picking the stats that are like the least important.
Other season,
points aren't important, Jeremy?
Offensive rebounds for a point guard?
Offensive rebounds, that's hard. Those are hustle plays, man. That's hard. I digress. Assists, 10-6. I mean,
obviously Trae Young's a facilitator, okay? All right. Brunson's more of a shooter.
A bucket getter.
He's a bucket. He shoots from the elbow, and it's always money.
Okay, but Trae Young still averages more points than him.
I guarantee you, if both of them played horse, Brunson would win.
No, he wouldn't. And let me tell you
why.
He
fucking would.
And let me tell you why.
What?
No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. I've seen Trae Young in shoot around. I don't think I've seen him miss in shoot around. I've never seen Jalen Brunson in shoot around. Perhaps he doesn't do shoot around. So I can just go based off facts that I can just go based on. I can just go based on facts that I've seen.
He's on that contract. He definitely does shoot around.
Trae Young is better.
If you try to come with the podcast with cherry picking stats,
I didn't cherry pick.
I can cherry pick stats that makes Trae Young look irrelevant.
But I didn't cherry pick. I literally gave a stat that put Jalen Brunson in front.
Also, how did Trae shoot in that Knicks game, by the way?
So now we're going to cherry pick games? Oh.
This is a better stat. Guys,
Trae Young was having issues. He was having
family
issues.
How are the Hawks on the floor without Trae and with Trae, and the Knicks with Brunson, vice versa?
That's actually, I don't even know.
Yeah, that's a
better actually, no, I can tell you. The Knicks were on that 7-game losing streak when they didn't have Brunson and Barrett.
And you think the Hawks are still good without Trae Young?
They're even worse without Trae.
The Hawks are average with or without Trae Young.
Yeah. So they bring this what's your point?
Doesn't that prove my point that clearly the Knicks need Brunson? Jalen Brunson at the end of his contract, as embarrassing as it sounds, could go down as the greatest point guard in Knicks history. Let me rephrase that. Greatest point guard since Walt Clyde Frazier.
I was about to say, there's Walt Frazier.
That was kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, my bad.
I was like, we'll cut that out. We'll make sure you don't sound stupid.
No, that made me and Jeremy look like very good co-hosts because we let you come to the realization that you messed up rather than attacking you.
So I rephrased that.
Wait, Trae, you just call yourself a co-host?
I mean, guest and
You just call yourself a co-host?
No, I didn't mean
Get
to.
the fuck out of here. No.
I know.
Brian and I are co-hosts.
No, I didn't mean it.
You're just a measly guest that we feel sorry for that you're joining with.
I know. I'm sorry, guys. That one's on me. All right. My punishment: Jalen Brunson is better than Trae.
Oh,
there we go.
Like,
I'm taking that as a bit.
Now I gotta call you Paul Pierce because you just spoke the truth.
That's a soundbite. Oh,
all time Paul Pierce moment is when he says that he was better than Dwayne Wade and Jalen Rose just attacked him and like
that or when he got carried out because he had to take a shit in the finals.
when he got fired from ESPN for having strippers on his Instagram live. Do y'all remember that one?
No, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. Now I vaguely do.
Yeah, he got fired because he also was like smoking weed too, on the video.
You know,
there needs to be like a 30 for 30 just about him.
they need to insert the part where he said the Celtics are winning against the Bucks after one game. Is that correct? Like it was when Kyrie was on the Celtics.
Oh yeah, I remember he said something crazy when he was on the Clippers too.
I forgot.
I like the part where he's like, "Did you call bank? I called game." I like that. That was all right.
That was pretty cool.
That was pretty savage.
I wish I was more clever with one-liners like that.
I'll use that on my next intramural basketball game.
All right, man. All right, Brian, how'd you do?
On Thursday I dropped 30, and we won by 47.
Wow.
What was the average height of all the opponents you faced?
They were like average height, just the skill level was below average.
What school do you go to?
Marist College in Poughkeepsie, New York.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, dropping 30 points. Did you get the game ball?
They had Rick Smits, notable alum.
Oh.
Probably our most famous basketball alumni.
Hey, that's something to write home about.
He was in The Last Dance, too.
That's nice. Yeah. Hey, you're in The Last Dance? That's awesome.
That means you were basically in The Last Dance.
Yeah.
Nah, if I'm in The Last Dance, I would have been like 50 right now if I was in The Last Dance.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't even born.
Yeah, I wasn't even born, bro.
Happened.
Actually, shit, I was born in 96. I was like 2 years old. So like, yeah.
Well,
do you guys want to talk about what happened during this week of basketball games?
Yeah,
dude. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah,
I would love to talk about the Lakers and Mavs. I said before on our previous episode that the Lakers are a different team.
They are. They are
fantastic right now.
Yeah, I mean they're much better defensively. They might have easily won the deadline, and came again at the sense of LeBron trading half his roster once again. But
LeGM
back at it.
LeGM still kind of remains undefeated.
Yeah,
but he's like, I mean, this team is just so much better. You get more scores being able to stretch the floor, and Malik Beasley and Vanderbilt, who had a quiet 15-game double-double against the Mavs. But
it wasn't quiet. It was noticed. They even
got Mo Bamba, Rui Hachimura. Like they have like more playmakers and better scorers to complement LeBron. So I mean, but like my takeaways from this game, and also the Austin Reeves beef was pretty funny. But,
yeah, dude, I love Austin Reeves. I really enjoy him as a player.
He's so fun. I love that interaction. I think it was his first game where he hit the game winner in that interaction with Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like borderline racist because basically Dwight Howard was calling him light skin. Meanwhile, he's like the most white guy ever.
He's light skin inside. That's what he is. He's got that light skin inside.
I guess so.
But Dwight Howard, China's own.
He's got that champagne poppy inside of him, you know.
But I guess like my takeaway from both games was like the 27-point comeback from the Lakers, obviously. Like from the Lakers, like good for you. Jared Vanderbilt was the MVP of that game, had the 15 points, 17 rebounders. Also was tasked to clamping up Luka. I mean, I saw that like time where he had like 2 steals, and then he even had that one like behind the back pass to I think like Reeves or Schroeder. I don't know. I just saw he had like a nice back-to-back pass after a steal, or behind the back pass after a steal, saying from out of bounds. But then on the opposite end, like the Mavericks, like you cannot choke that game. Like I know the Mavericks kind of have that tendency because they're not the best defensively. You can't choke that game. And I mentioned earlier that the West, it's so wide open. Like you can't be blowing. Like those are the games you're supposed to win, especially despite the Lakers being a much better team. They just got into the play, and so they're a 12 seed team, still under 500. Those are the games you can't be losing, especially when you make your splash, getting Kyrie Irving to pair Luka as second star. Like clearly, you view yourself as a championship contender. You can't be blowing those games, especially at home, no less. And now with the play-in, when it puts you one game, now puts you at the 6th seed, and you're only half a game over the Warriors for a play-in spot. Like these teams are not now. It's just like it used to be, just get 1 through 8 and you're good. Now it's you got to get 1 through 6 because you don't want to be in the play-in because you could be in 7th seed and not even make it to the playoffs technically. So for the Lakers, good for them. Impressive comeback. This new Lakers team could be a nice playoff team. I still don't view them as the championship contender yet, but the Mavericks, you can't be choking that game. Simple.
No, definitely not. I mean, you have Kyrie and Luka. You got Kyrie for the sole purpose of just outwinning somebody with your offense. And yeah, of course, your defense lacks because you gave it away. But you know the Lakers got better defensively, and they also have more shooters. So you have to be aware of that. And yeah, they got hot after the first quarter, leading by 27 points. But you got to keep that lead, or if you can't, as I said before, because you're not good defensively, you got to keep on scoring. Imagine you're up by like just 2 points. You know, that's what the Mavericks needed to do, but they failed on doing that.
Yeah, and also, I mean, that inbounds play to Luka from Kyrie. That is like that's one of the first like real growing pains I've seen from the Mavs, though. Like poor communication, and I think as time goes on, that play just doesn't happen, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how many games have they played together so far? Not many. So I think that's something
they have a losing record together.
It's true. But
does anyone find it weird? I just noticed this, that Christian Wood doesn't even start. They start Reggie Bullock and Justin Holiday instead of Christian Wood.
That was talked about quite a bit earlier in the season because I guess Jason Kidd wanted Christian Wood off the bench, and Wood really didn't want to do that. But I guess he had like this streak of games where he was playing as like the 6th man. He was doing really well, and then over the last, I think, couple of weeks, even a little bit before the All-Star break, he was struggling from the field, and he hasn't been doing well since. So he has mentioned that he does want to be a starter. That's what he came to Dallas for. That's what I mean. He was a starter on Houston. He had a pretty good breakout season, given the fact that Houston didn't really do much as a team. But you know that's what Dallas got him for scoring, for space in the floor as a stretch big. His defense isn't as great though. But I mean, they really needed to utilize him more on the offensive end.
Yeah, and also former Knick bust Frank Ntilikina was the only Maverick that didn't score in that game. So there's that.
Well, that's that pretty much solidifies his potential, or his almost potential.
I hate that guy. Could have had Donovan Mitchell.
That is true. That's true. But yeah, other games happened today, which was really nice. Not today, well, earlier this week. The Philly and Celtics game was wild. That was, this whole week of basketball, a week until this weekend was crazy. At first glance, whenever Joel Embiid just like chucked the basketball to try to see if he can get it in with like that, 2 seconds left, I thought it was before the buzzer. And man, that would have been crazy. That would have been like just a wow moment.
Yeah, and it was so effortless too. Like I saw the highlight. He literally just goes and just like pretends nothing's new.
Yeah. Takeaways from that game. Do you think Philly, given their success over the last few weeks, do you think that they're damaged a little bit by this win because they almost beat the Celtics?
I don't know, because I still think Boston's the clear-cut favorite for the East, just because Tatum, Brown, the way they've been playing, and just how good they are defensively and how much depth they have. Like guys like Derek White, Marcus Smart, Peyton Pritchard, Grant Williams, Rob Williams, like all those guys. But I think if anything, yeah, that sucks. You guys didn't win that game, but I think if anything, it gives you confidence that you can hang with the top dog, because a lot of people came in looking at Philly of is the Embiid Harden experiment going to work? Can Doc Rivers finally get over the hump? I feel like the 76ers are answering these questions and in a positive manner. James Harden, yeah, he's not going off for 30, 40 points every night, but he's having more efficient games, getting double doubles. He's slowly and I say slowly, but he's slowly getting back to his old self, and he's playing. And everything everyone said for years, and I kind of believe this myself too, that as good as Harden is, he doesn't play championship team basketball. But now he's kind of showing that that he can win a championship, and Philly has the depth to do it with guys like Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey going along with them. So I wouldn't be surprised if Philly could go on a run, and I think showing that they can hang with Boston, who's one of the hottest teams right now, only 17 losses. I think that gives them some positive energy that they can go off with. Obviously, the loss sucks, and they might be damaged with it, but they're all, for the most part, veterans and very talented players, so they'll get past it.
I think it'll be a nice showcase for the playoffs. Yeah. I think that is kind of what it told me, because either team could have won that game, and by one possession less or one more gain possession. And they beat the Grizzlies and the Cavs, and they're playing the Heat right now. I'm not really sure who's going to win that game, but hopefully they pull through, and because the Heat are probably the 7th seed. However, they are a dark horse playoff contender, the Heat.
Yeah, they are a second half team too.
Philly has a pretty hard schedule coming up. Well, next 4, including tonight, they go Miami, Dallas, Milwaukee. And I think if they string together some wins in that, I think they get a bunch of confidence to then go to Indiana, Minnesota, Portland, Washington, Cleveland, Charlotte. And then they're kind of set up right now to go on a pretty good run. And I think now's the time to do it. If they can get these next 4, play some pretty good games, I see them going on a run. And then, at the end of the season, confidence is everything, and momentum is everything.
Confidence and health.
Yeah,
because they're kind of a top heavy team still. Yeah. If they don't have Embiid, if Embiid gets injured, which is pretty likely, Harden can't save them. There's no way. They have to have Embiid on the floor, healthy as much as he can, and playing the most minutes out of all the other starters. So, that's something you gotta deal with as a fan, because Philly doesn't really have that great of a bench after Embiid when Embiid goes down.
Yeah,
that's if their starters are healthy, all of them throughout, then yeah, they can make a deep playoff run. The great thing about the Celtics is that if they lose Jalen Brown, they're still pretty cool. If they lose Jason Tatum, which it's a huge blow, they're still Jalen Brown. So
yeah,
it's not a huge.
Celtics are scary this year.
They are scary for sure. They are scary. They might be better than last year, I'll say.
Yeah, they went to the finals last year, and they got better by getting Derek White. Or no, Brogdon.
Yeah, they got Brogdon. If Tatum goes down, or if Brown goes down, they have the next man up that's capable of riding that boat, keeping them afloat and stuff. So,
and even with that, when you have a deep team like that, a lot of the time it's if you put certain players together, certain rotations don't play that strong. You have to kind of mix it. The Celtics, you can throw pretty much any 5 on there together, and they're gonna play well. They have the chemistry is off the charts for the Celtics. They're deep. they can all play well together. They're monsters this year, and
Al Horford got better defensively, and that's always been like
a knock on his
career.
Yeah.
He's like what, 38 now?
Yes.
He's old.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah,
he's not old. He's an old basketball player in turns, but he's if he died right now, that'd be pretty tragic.
36
or 36, whatever. But I feel like Al Horford's been around for years. I
remember when he was on Atlanta with like Millsap and Josh Smith.
The best regular season team in the NBA. 2015. That was the best regular season team I'd ever seen in the modern NBA. The best regular season team.
I dream of it.
Yeah, Kyle Korver too.
Yeah,
All-star Kyle
Korver
to
watch.
It was fun.
Yes,
it was fun until LeBron took over and made them their daddy.
You should have to bring him up.
I forgot Trae's in the podcast. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I was sitting here like dreaming about it, like all happy, and then you just do that. Like,
yeah.
Honestly, LeBron's nicknamed the King. Trae's nicknamed the King of Sound Bites.
Sorry,
what?
Go ahead.
I said LeBron's nicknamed the King. Trae's nicknamed the King of Sound Bites.
Yeah, King of Sound Bites.
I get. I'll take that. I like that.
Y'all made a mistake giving up Budenholzer.
Jeremy, my friend, let me tell you something about the Hawks. All right. We do mistakes is what we do. All right. There's a little draft trade. I don't know if you know this, but we drafted Luka Doncic and traded for Trae Young. And I know as a fan, I technically have to say we won the trade, and I've got to find all these weird things to defend it. I wouldn't mind having Luka Doncic on my team right now, right?
Yeah.
So,
the thing is, I think they both in their first 2 years were equally as good.
Yes, but it's starting to get.
Yeah, Luka Doncic is now probably a top 5 player, likely.
Yeah, Trae Young has very strange hair.
Top 20 player.
Will go off for a month. And then we'll just start he'll go off for 3 games, and then his next entire game's just a heat check. It's not he's going off this quarter, so next quarter I'm gonna start pulling some crazy stuff. It's I went crazy for past 4 games. Let's see how many times I can throw this up and see if this keeps working. And it's so frustrating to watch. And then when the whole thing with Nate McMillan started happening, and he was mad and wasn't happy with where he was, then it was, I'll just pull wherever. I'll do whatever I want. Because, hey, what are you going to do? Trade me? I'm Trae Young. I'm Trae Young.
This is why I dreaded bringing you in the podcast, Trae.
Oh, I'm done. That's it. I'm just saying.
We talked about the Hawks earlier.
Sorry, I know. But you, this is your fault. You asked me a question about the Hawks.
I'm just sorry. I riled you up. I talked about the 2015 Hawks. I triggered you. I'm so sorry.
You did. It's okay.
It all started with me.
But the Kings and the Clippers.
Let's go.
The
Kings and Clippers. That game was behemoth of the game.
What was the final score? 276 to 175.
All-star game numbers.
Yeah.
Wait, I just completely missed this game.
It was late at night. It was late at night. It came on at 9:30, and I was still in the staff call with everybody and with Randy and stuff. So they were holding all the editors back. So the game was going on back then, and I forgot about it. And then it was 10:30 when we finally stopped talking when we ended, and then I got tired and went to bed. So I had no idea it existed until I woke up the next morning.
Yeah,
damn, double overtime game.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, Westbrook had 6 turnovers, so I don't know if that's. I mean, it was double overtime, so maybe that's the reason why his turnovers were so high. But ever since
Malik Monk scored 45.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Malik Monk is a GRP. You know what that is? Glorified role player. A GRP. I'm coining that term now. A GRP.
Trademark it.
Yeah.
Would you give him GRP of the year?
No, I give it to Jared Vanderbilt.
Josh Hart.
Well, it's not the end of the season yet. Let's see how the Lakers do. But yeah. But dude, that game was just absolutely nuts.
Bonkers.
I saw the highlights. It felt like I was watching a trilogy.
It was bonkers. I mean, just to put up that, what I took away was that it was still only the second highest scoring game, and that's saying that's crazy.
I mean, what, since like the 60s?
I think it was like 60.
Yeah.
I think it was like 50 something actually.
Yeah, I mean, like back then, like high scoring games were because they had no shot clock. This was during the shot clock era. However,
They didn't even have
offensive,
a 3-point line.
yeah,
It was in
offensive
the
games
80s.
though.
It was
Yeah.
in the 80s.
Okay, well then never mind. That was in the
It
shot
was
clock.
1983. Detroit beat Denver 186-184 in triple overtime.
Damn.
Damn,
Nice
one
night.
more overtime, they would have blown that out.
Yeah, well, it was triple overtime. So
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, Kawhi Leonard's coming back. He scored 44 points during that game.
There's 44 more. Shout out Logic.
Hey, that's 44 more. Yeah. I think that the Russell Westbrook experiment with the Clippers so far has been kind of a little bit of a mixed bag. He's gotten those assist numbers for sure, but his turnovers have gone up. I know it's been like only a couple of games, but he has those, typical possessions where he just doesn't know what he's doing with the basketball and just throws it away. The same thing he had with the Lakers and and with the Wizards and stuff. I think that he just needs to really – I think Ty Lue needs to give him a lesson, like one of those like coaching lessons.
A come to Jesus.
Yeah, because like Ty Lue is a great coach. And the Clippers, I mean, if they really play their cards right and they stay healthy, they have a really formidable team, and they can definitely go far in the playoffs. However, it's against the Kings. I've noticed that the West, it doesn't matter what seed you're playing on, as long as you beat the play-in team. You got to make sure you have your matchups correct on what team you're playing with on the first round. Because the Clippers and Kings, that's going to be a dogfight if they play in the first round. I don't think the Clippers will get past the Kings. That's the thing. I think the Kings, because they have so much talent and so much like spacing and shooting on the floor. Also, playing in Sacramento will be crazy. Like fans have been waiting for years, over a decade, for their team to be back in the playoffs. And they're rowdy fans. They're crazy out there. So I think the Kings might win against the Clippers if they played a 7-game series. So this loss isn't necessarily a bad thing. I feel like the Clippers need to figure out what team to play against in the playoffs if they make the top 6 seed. It's kind of my takeaway from the game.
I like it. I agree. The game was it was insane. I'd taken the under of that game, and then I did by like the end of regulation, I didn't even care anymore. It was just fun. Like it was hard to be mad at it. It was like you said, you're watching highlights, and it was hard to believe that it was just one game. I mean, it was good. It was fun to watch.
Yeah. No, I wish I watched the entire game, but we got a staff meeting.
Yeah, I got.
Well, the game was Friday, I thought.
Was it Friday? Oh.
It was Friday, February 24th.
What was I doing on Friday?
So you're just a liar.
I'm a total liar. Yeah, I guess.
You just lied to my face.
What was I doing on Friday?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what you say now. I won't believe it.
Damn. Oh, man. I'm losing track of the days, guys. I'm losing my mind over here. Nah, I mean, I kind of wish I watched the game. Maybe it's because I don't have League Pass. That's probably why.
Oh, dude, I got this new. I'll tell you off the camera, but I'll never pay for a subscription again.
Oh,
it's amazing.
Wait, can I? Is that like for free? Is that like you can tell the scoop and like how to watch every game? Is this NBA like live streams?
No, it's like TV.
You can tell me after the podcast.
Yeah,
it's fine.
yeah.
Just tell me after. I don't want to promote pirating here on this.
No,
podcast.
it's 100% legal. DM me Trae Plumber on Twitter and $20, and I'll let you know. You got it for
Is this like your link to your OnlyFans or something?
Yeah. Also, hit me up on OnlyFans.
At Trae Young Lover.
Trae Young Lover.
Yeah, it's just me and Trae. I do AI and get them in there.
Trae Square.
like the movie Her. Dope. That's cool. That's modern. That's like past Chat GPT levels right there.
What?
You're not saying anything, so like I mean, you might.
Yeah,
be cornered.
I don't know what you just brought up a movie. I'm confused. I don't know.
The movie Her. There's Joaquin Phoenix and Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson basically plays an AI that Joaquin Phoenix falls in love with. It's called Her.
Oh, I heard of that movie actually.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it, but I heard of it.
Yeah.
Right,
Anyway, this is not a movie podcast, but like it won a couple Oscars.
Great movie. Go watch it. Use promo code JBoogie when you watch it.
All right. What other set of games did we talk about? Jesus Christ.
Fucking JBoogie.
Yeah. Oh my God.
What games are tonight?
The Pelicans. Let's talk about the Pelicans before we conclude this podcast. The Pelicans have fallen hard, especially with their loss to the Knicks by at least 15 or 20 points. Like there was no competition. I mean, they lost Zion and they pretty much lost everything. Everything sort of fell apart. They were doing pretty good without Brandon Ingram. They actually were. And then when he came back and then Zion got hurt with the hamstring and it kind of prolonged his injury, he's still injured. Pelicans are falling apart.
Yeah, I still think they stay. Actually, never mind. I think they're not going to be in the plan. I think the Lakers pass them.
Yeah, and their schedule coming up is insane. They don't really have. I mean, Orlando, but then Portland, Golden State, Sacramento, Dallas, OKC, Portland, LA, and then they play a G League team, the Rockets.
Shut the fuck up.
They play the Rockets.
Shut up. I've gotten so much hate already.
Orlando's not even like a guaranteed W. Like they got some.
Orlando's pretty good.
I know. That's why. That's what I'm. Their schedule coming up's hard, and then they go. Rockets, Spurs, Charlotte.
Oh, there's 2-3 W's
Rockets,
in there.
Rockets, Spurs, Charlotte. Oh,
it's like a fantasy bye week.
Yeah,
yeah, fantasy bye week.
I mean, honestly, what the Rockets should do is just study Orlando and how they rebuilt.
Maybe they got their own
future
way.
is bright. That future is bright in Orlando.
Yeah, no, I mean Orlando is a pretty good rebuilding team. I'll say that's a prime example of how to rebuild a team right there. But yeah, I feel like the Pelicans, way back when they selected Zion first overall, there was something in me that was looking at him whenever I saw him play at was it like Duke or Kentucky? Was it Duke? Yeah, Duke. And I don't know why. I knew we could get past and bully ball players to the basket, and I saw his talent, but for some reason there's something about me that thought, man, I don't really see him as a durable player.
Well, Jeremy, let me tell you, man. He's 800 pounds. You can't be 800 pounds and play very successfully.
Are you looking for just sound bites for TikTok or something?
No, it's not a sound bite. Jeremy, he's huge. The way he plays basketball.
He slimmed down. He slimmed down this season.
But he's still like the way he plays it.
Jeremy, his shoe exploded just for making a cut in a college game.
You can't be that big and also be that explosive and not think you need you have your ligaments don't work that way.
Like they say, trying to take a charge from Zion running at full speed is like getting hit by a truck going 25 miles per hour.
It's pretty slow, but hey.
I don't think it is.
In the car.
I think it's faster than anything.
Yeah, I think it's faster. That would still kill you.
You should have said like 100 miles an hour. I would have believed you. I was like,
well, I don't know. Maybe it was 40. I don't know. I just remember seeing that.
Fast.
It's still
a car going fast.
I mean, either way, Zion has a weight issue, and I mean, I remember kind of seeing, and especially now with that Southern food in New Orleans, he's probably going crazy on some Popeyes right now, especially.
Yeah, they probably have money.
Hold up! Hold the fuck up! Did you say Popeyes?
Listen, I had to pull a Rob with Texas Roadhouse.
Did you say fucking That's like saying that. That's like saying. I'll have to go to China to see some walk the light 5-minute fast food Chinese place over in China.
Okay, well, I've never been to New Orleans. I know they have.
My God.
I don't know what their main
man.
restaurant is. So I'm just going off of like general.
Popeyes is a chain. Yes, they have red beans and rice and fucking jambalaya, whatever. But
yeah, but if I lived in New Orleans, I could give you a better place. But I've never been there, so I don't know. But like, you
then
clearly got the picture.
Just say he's out eating beignets, and I would have been like, okay with that.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what that is. I don't know what beignets are.
That's like what they're known for.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know that, you could have said a po' boy.
Or a po' boy. Or like a, I don't know, fucking hand grenade.
Those are disgusting, by the way.
Those are awful. Nasty.
So bad.
I mean, I guess I could have, but
anyways, Zion, I mean, living in New Orleans does have its perks, while also kind of interesting that the perks are also the flaws if you abuse them. And
I'm sure they have him on a meal plan. Like,
I'm sure they do. I mean, he slimmed down during the end of the season, like the start of the season, and he was going off. He had like MVP type level numbers, but I'm just not sure if they can really handle a guy like him when he's like that injury prone, like that. It's just sort of like that tragic bust story where a guy who's like really talented can't be on the court.
Yeah, I mean,
because he's fat.
He even underperformed in college. That big three of Barrett, Zion, and Cam Reddish.
You mean the mid three?
Yeah,
that's definitely a mid three right there right now, especially in the NBA. That was a big three in college, but a mid three in the NBA.
When you edit it, can you cut to the video when RJ Barrett is talking to the fan and he's like, "You pay to see me, huh? So shut up."
Maybe. I'll think about it. I'll probably find it later. But the Pelicans, I had them as my 6th seed in my like Western Conference predictions. May not be like that anymore. If Zion comes back full strength, that might be their saving grace. But other than that,
how long is he out?
It's not. There's no timeable return. It's TBD.
It's never great.
He had a hamstring injury. I think it was like a grade 2, and he was supposed to be out for a few weeks, and then he had like a little bit of a setback after that few weeks, and now it's like no timeable return for his to be on the court again. So
yeah, I mean, all those issues are like weight related too, like hamstring, all that stuff. Like it's just gonna be like a nagging thing probably for the rest of his career too. It's probably like they may be minor now, but like they'll just add up and something that's like just like some of those injuries that just might never heal.
Yeah,
it's just sad also because like they signed Zion to that long-term rookie deal, like the same, like pretty much the same contract as Luka's, but Luka of course deserves it more because he's one of the best players on the planet.
Yeah, I was supposed to see Zion's rookie debut against the Knicks, and then he didn't play because his injury was longer. They pushed the game back, and then Nickeil Alexander-Walker torched us, so that was fun.
Yeah, I think Zion is like I like Zion. I like to watch him play is insane, but it's also like the way his body is like and the way he plays it doesn't match. Like he's so explosive and so quick and so like good, but then he's so big that like when you're doing those things at that level so frequently, your body's gonna deteriorate faster. It's not like he's like just a brutal like force down low like that would be one thing.
He's just taking a shit ton of contact.
Yeah,
he's playing basketball like football.
Yeah, I mean, he's damn good.
He's damn good at it. Don't get me wrong, but like you can only do so much with that with your body in basketball because you're not football trained. You're not playing like a football linebacker or running back. So you can't play bully
linebacker.
He would if he trained him like that. If he stopped eating those little beignets.
If he stops going to Popeyes.
Stop going to fucking Popeyes. The fucking A, man. Or Cafe Du Monde. Anyways, we're done joking around with that. But yeah, rip to the Pelicans. Promising season. I'm already like calling it. They're not going to be that good of a team anymore. Honestly, I think that they need to go back to the drawing room floor. Focus on getting Zion back together on the floor. I don't know. Get Jose Alvarado to start stealing the ball more often if they want to salvage their season or something.
Yeah.
But I think that'll be the end of this recording. A lot we talked about today. It's crazy NBA week, so had to get through it. Trae,
Yeah,
I appreciate you for joining on the podcast.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me. Sorry, I called myself a co-host. Number one, sorry I went on a rant, and I think I did one other thing, but I forget right now. So
yeah, the more you say sorry, the less pity people will have for you. They'll resent you more. Just letting you know.
that's okay.
Yeah, that's not okay. That's bad.
Hey, my DMs are open, boys. Come get some. Come get the fire.
I couldn't tell if that was like a pickup line or like.
No, that was not a pickup line.
Oh, okay.
Ladies,
you
don't
said
hit my
you just
DMs.
said ladies, my DMs are open. I was like,
No, I said fellas.
Yeah, no, he did.
Yeah,
okay.
Come at me. I got nothing but time. Not like that, Jeremy.
I didn't say anything.
His face should be the thumbnail.
All right, with that being said,
allow me to fix it.
Thank you guys for watching. This is Cut the Nets. I'm Jeremy, along with my co-host Brian. This was episode 11. Signing out. Thanks for watching.